compassionate care to patients in our communities. 2020 also marks a new direction for NANA. As you know, NANA is a small agency, and the changing landscape in the home health care field these many years has presented many challenges. In order for us to continue providing the services that our communities have come to expect, our board of directors has determined that NANA needs to partner with another home health care and hospice agency. That partner, we've determined after great diligence, is Lakes Region VNA, which is based in Meredith. The goals and interests of the two agencies align exceptionally well. Quality patient care and outcomes are the primary priority for each agency. Both organizations come together free of debt and owning their own buildings, and both value the offering of free clinics and screenings. It is also very important to each organization that we serve those in need, regardless of ability to pay. I'm very pleased to announce that the NANA building in Bristol will continue as a presence and base of operation. NANA's board is confident that the combined organization will move into the future with great strength and will do what each agency has been very good at doing, namely to serve the interests of our patients, of our communities. In conclusion, I would like to express my public appreciation to Renee for being such a receptive and responsive partner during this process. It is with great gratitude that I appreciate from the outset her enthusiastic commitment to achieving for our two agencies what is in the best interest of the organizations, our staff, and our constituents. I also would like to thank the NANA staff for their patience during this process and for their commitment to excellence. Finally, my gratitude is extended to the NANA Board of Directors for their guidance, their support, and their vision in proceeding down this path toward merger in order to secure a very stable, successful future for NANA. Renee, back to you.
Thanks, Ileana. I mean, you are so kind, and it has been a true pleasure to work with Ileana. As Ileana just mentioned, we align our mission, our vision aligns in how we want to treat our constituencies, the folks that we serve, that our staff serves. Over 100 years, almost 100 years of service from LRVNA to the towns, and our staff is exceptional. We, as Ileana mentioned, have very similar aligned vision, and at LRVNA, that vision is put into practice by our staff, led by Kevin Kelly, our CEO, Kevin Kelly. Kevin, if you haven't met him, is an incredible leader with force of goodwill and ability. He unites, he brings out the best in people. We see him as the leader he is. He has worked over 40 years in the home healthcare industry and has an incredible insight to how we can best serve you, the folks home, the ones that we are engaging with right now. We want to assure you that, as Ileana mentioned, the free clinics over at Bristol will continue. The use of the building will continue as it has in the past. The services that you have come to know through LRVNA will continue. And we look forward to this combined entity allowing us to serve all of you out there, regardless of where you come from or what your circumstances are. We are here because neighbors serve neighbors. We're here for you. And so, without further ado, I'd like to turn it over to Kevin, and perhaps Kevin could say a few words from the operational perspective.
Well, thank you, Renee. Those were very kind words, much appreciated. Frankly, between what both you and Ileana had to say, I don't know how to follow that act. You've covered things quite well, and I appreciate that, both of you. The good news is that everything that they're reporting is accurate. Both teams are terrific teams. I've had the pleasure of working previously on the board of LRVNA and then came out of retirement to work with the agency in a direct fashion. We've had a terrific couple of years here. Metrics show vast improvements in patient quality care, extension of services, and that actually, from my perspective, brings us to the best reason why this merger is suitable. We have overlapping territories, and as is happening and is noteworthy in other parts of the state, significant agencies well established in their own right have been actively merging. So to me, it's a natural that two like-minded, philosophically, in total agreement philosophically and culturally, groups can come together. So I'm very excited about our future.
Thank you, Kevin.
You're welcome.
We have a couple of questions that came on the phone that were handed to us. And I'd like to, I don't even need glasses for these questions because the writing is large. This question is from Liz. And she's asking how long, before I read the question, actually, I want you to know that over 5,500 letters were sent to households before today's event. So there's a large constituency out there who actually have read about this merger and who are interested in what we're doing. So this question is from Liz, and she's saying, how long will it take to get this merger approved? And so I would say, from LRVNA's perspective, would say as soon as possible. We would like this to happen as soon as possible. We want to continue the work that our staff does so very well. And what would you say, Leanna?
The state has indicated that it can take up to 180 days. Our attorneys have already been in communication with the state representatives, and we are encouraged that a decision can be concluded, we hope, in the near future. We're providing all materials and responding to all requests from the state as expeditiously as possible.
Thank you, Ileana. There's another question that has come from Jim to our switchboard here. How will this merger help both organizations? So I think possibly this might be something that, Kevin, you'd like to answer. It's more of an operational question that you'd like to maybe take.
Sure. It's a complicated question based on all of the changing landscape in health services. This particular area, central New Hampshire, has, for example, historically the densest cluster of VNAs in the United States of America. Different towns have enjoyed excellent service, delivered for 97 years by the Lakes Region VNA, by 60 years by NANA, and now, as we're seeing, consolidation makes more business sense, as well as enhancing patient care. We have complementary staffs that can mix and match. We're in a situation where we're positioned with our motto to say yes, okay? For a suitable patient, we're positioned with staff, and now combining two excellent staffs better positions us for that. So it's a win-win for both NANA and LRVNA, and I look forward to the process getting completed.
That's great. I would say that I would, on behalf of the board, absolutely agree with that comment. Thank you, Kevin.
Well, thank you, Renee.
This is sort of a new format for us, so bear with us.
Well, I can't tell.
We just want to make sure that you get the answers that you might be wanting to questions that you might be having for us. So you can call and you can go down on the chat and ask us questions. But in the meantime, whilst we wait for additional questions, in the conversation that we're having here, we've had conversations in our merger talks, in our due diligence work that we've gone through. And one of them has been about the wonderful scholarships that NANA has provided. We have discussed this issue, and you might tell people a little bit about how you have done it in the past, and I will tell you then how we looking at this combined entity is looking to continue that.
For many years now, NANA has had the tradition of awarding scholarships each year to worthy individuals who are in or entering the home health care field and need assistance with tuition and cost of training, education. Those scholarships have become very important in NANA's communities. When I first raised that issue with Renee, she was very receptive to the concept, and her remark was she didn't know why Lakes hadn't been doing that already. So that tradition with the combined organization will continue, I'm very pleased to say. NANA always had a scholarship committee that reviewed the applications and then made decisions as to the award of them. And we look forward to that tradition continuing with the combined organization.
Ileana, as Ileana said, we at the LRVNA, I personally was actually really delighted to hear about this scholarship program. And when we then on the board level discussed the scholarship, it was an obvious decision that would be something that we would wish to continue and expand on. So if anyone has had family members out there who've participated in the scholarship program, we know that you have been greatly helped by it, and we look forward to, as a joint combined entity, continuing that tradition and affording that scholarship to many more worthy folks. So you'll hear more about that, and I'm sure that it will be, once the two entities have merged, it will be on our websites, and you'll hear more about it. So thank you, Ileana, and thank you, NANA, for having that tradition. There is just another question that was handed. This is from Jane. I'm assuming, Jane, that you're asking if the combined organization have plans to expansion once they merge. And I would suggest to you right now, Jane, that we are absolutely working on this merger. We don't have time to talk about anything going forward. It is not something that we are discussing. We are working to make NANA, LRVNA, NANA work for the communities that we serve. How many communities do we serve currently?
Well, we're over 40.
Over
and,
40.
That doesn't count NANAs. If I may expound on that a little bit, we're not looking to expand beyond our immediate service area. What we've done is expand the service within our service area. We found that the number of patients in need were much greater in number than had historically been responded to. So when we talk about our annual visits, speaking only for LRVNA, we've gone from about 6,500 weighted visits to over 45,000. So we, as Renee said, we've got plenty to keep us busy in our appointed areas. I would guess in the future, just as we found one another in this merger opportunity, there might be other groups that are seeking similar mergers. So we're not saying no to anything, but as Renee said, we've got plenty to keep us busy right now.
Thanks, Kevin. Yeah, the combined entities will be working really hard for you. So don't worry if you're worried about us taking the focus being off of you. The focus will always be you. The focus will always be these areas that we're working at right now, and that's the most important thing for you, Jane, to know. The focus is you. In terms of a couple of other questions that have come in, this one came in, and it's really kind of an interesting one. So perhaps because it's operational, it could go to Kevin. This one came in, and it's a question about the regulatory pressures and why this particularly makes the combined entity, why it makes sense for us to be combined. So do you have some thoughts on that, Kevin?
A few.
A few.
Okay. I worked for a lady a long time ago. She was a big boss at Quality Care when it was only Quality Care. And she said, I never believed I'd be in home care this long, but I've been in it this long because it changes every 3 years. And it's a new job and a new career for me every 3 years. And I thought, well, I wonder what she means by that. She's being proven correct as we speak. Right now, rules can change almost every time you open the mail, it seems. And we have to keep pace with that from not only a regulatory and a reimbursement standpoint. There was ACO on the cutting edge. Now it's next generation ACO. And where the future lies for home care is when the big mergers take place, when consolidations between hospitals and next generation ACOs take place, they're going to be looking out to the community to see who's best to work with to continue their mission. They're going to be lining up the various silos of care. And so it's incumbent upon our agencies to be in a position to be among those chosen to be the best bets for them and for the community at large. So we're excited about that. We feel as though we're moving in the right direction with that, and we hope to maintain it.
Thanks, Kevin. So there's an additional question that has come in, and it's talking about the boards and how these two organizations, what the makeup of the boards will be. And so the answer to that question is that the combined entity will have a combined board. Currently, what we have decided jointly is that the LRVNA board chair will chair the combined board, and it will have current representation from NANA and LRVNA. So it will be a combined board and chaired by the LRVNA chair. So that's the answer to that question. Ileana, do you want to talk a little bit about the service area, that the existing service area that your staff is working at, and will that make a difference, this merger, to that service area from your perspective?
NANA currently serves 8 communities, 8 towns. And one of the many benefits of combining our organization with Lakes is that resources are magnified for not only our towns, but the towns that Lake services. And there is strength in numbers, and combining our staff's ability to hire more individuals as needed will all serve to strengthen the services and variety of services that are currently provided to each of our organization's communities.
Thanks, Ileana. These masks, as we all know, can be a little bit of a problem when you put on and take your glasses off. So what about the services that everyone is receiving? Kevin, you want to address a little bit, address the issue of services that everybody is receiving currently, and how will that be in the future?
Well, we have 4 patient satisfaction stars here at LRVNA. We've grown, as I described earlier, dramatically. We've added over 50 employees in doing so to make sure that there's no fall off in the quality of services delivered. And to add to what Ileana was saying, one thing to note that I think is the great advantage, I've served in nonprofit as well as for-profit worlds. One of the advantages as we're going forward in home care is that we can use the full revenue dollar towards patient services. We don't have the challenge of the public sector and the challenges of profit making. We are able to direct money into our staff to deliver the very best care. So the success that we've been having with our growth has translated, I feel most proud of, into more care for the underinsured and indigent than ever before. And I see that continuing quite nicely with the NANA group.
Thanks, Kevin.
And Renee and Kevin, I would add to all of that, that both organizations pride themselves on responding to requests for service 24/7. That is essential when people are in need for services, weekends, nighttime, that agencies be able to respond. And as one of the benefits of our combining is that there will be that strength, so that whenever requests come in, we are confident that all requests will be answered.
Thanks, Ileana. I'm hoping that you take advantage over at home or in your office and call in. We still have a few more minutes to take your calls and to respond to any questions that you may have. We are getting signals that there are no questions. We have a very, very well-versed staff here who are putting together this broadcast. So there are no more questions that are immediately there. Actually, Ileana, you got that question?
Yes.
You have. So we have some questions that folks have asked us, knowing that we were going to be having this this event. Obviously, not everyone is being able to call in or get on the chat, but Ileana had been asked by one of her constituencies about the town appropriations, and she'd like to take the opportunity to respond to that, if you would.
It is at this time of year that NANA makes application to our member communities for monies in the 2021 town appropriations. And it's very important that our towns be assured that whatever is allocated to NANA in their 2021 appropriations will be dedicated to NANA's services.
Thanks. as I said, we have been, this letter went out, these 5,500 letters went out a few days ago. So you've had the opportunity to read and make comments, and that was clearly a comment that someone in your
Yes.
constituency made. And I want to make sure that we did not ignore you, whoever you are who asked that question. We appreciate the question. We know that you're concerned that you get the same benefits and same care and same services that you have had in the past. So I hope that whoever you are who asked that question, we appreciate it and we thank you for the questions. And oh, there's a good question. Thank you, Carol. Carol's question is, what will the new name of the combined agency be? So we have discussed the combined name of the agency, and as of right now, Carol, and those of you who might be interested, we are going to be a agency with a slash. So it will be LRVNA/NANA Home Healthcare and Hospice. And that is where we are currently, and we look forward to it being a combined organization. So I hope that answered your question, Carol. Thank you very much. And again, please, you've got some more time. If you have additional questions, anyone, please call or go into the chat and send us some more questions. In the meantime, do you want to talk a little bit, Liana, about your mission statement that you have over at NANA? We don't have questions from you guys, so a little bit more about your mission statement and perhaps about the compassionate patient care and how that actually translates.
Our mission currently and historically has been to provide compassionate, expert care in the home health care field and also in hospice. And I would imagine that Lake's experience was similar to ours in that at the time when we were just a home health care agency, it became difficult for our staff and for their patients when they needed hospice services to have to suddenly break away from NANA and engage a different agency. Those are difficult times for hospice patients and their families. And as a result, NANA obtained hospice certification. And our mission is to provide both in a compassionate and expert manner, home health care and hospice. Renee, I imagine your experience was similar.
Yeah, I would say it would be. It has been and is, and the mission of LRVNA, as we're all reminded, is that we want to provide. And I'm reading this because this is our mission statement, and I want to make sure that it is heard currently. It's providing individualized and compassionate patient care that promotes independence and wellness. And that is pretty much as well said as what you've said. We also have the hospice mission statement, and I think in hospice, and considering the fact that November is the National Hospice and Palliative Care Month, probably a very good point to be made right now that we combined individually, both organizations provide end-of-life care that promotes the best possible quality of life. And so we want to make sure that that continues. Kevin, I was wondering about from an operational point of view, the free clinics. Would you want to talk about the free clinics a little bit?
Well, we have run free clinics here for 97 years on and off. And they will certainly continue, as will the ones out serving the NANA area. That has been agreed to by both boards unanimously from day one. As a matter of fact, it was insisted upon from day one. So rest assured that will continue. I'll tell you the one thing I've noticed about the hospice care is that we have a line that might sound a little unorthodox. When it comes to providing care, I find that people can be occasionally frugal in their patient utilization. We have a motto, let's err on the side of spending. We're a nonprofit, so we're in a position to afford people the type of care that we think is going to put them in the very best place, and their families, because the amount of support and rest and encouragement supporting families get through this process is immeasurable. We've got folks who've received letters of praise that would bring a tear to your eye. It's really, really heartfelt and remarkable, and it's a pleasure to know these people. I'm very proud to know them. That'll continue not only for LRVNA, but having met the staff of NANA, it continues there as well.
Thanks, Kevin. Yeah, I would suggest that we align so well on all these different areas, which is why the merger from the LRVNA board's perspective is, if I may say so, a non-brainer. It has truly been a pleasure working with Ileana, and I look forward to working with you going forward. We see eye to eye, our organizations see eye to eye, we bring the same values to the table. And Kevin is this incredible uniter. His ability to bring people together and his ability to get people to just be the best at what they do is remarkable. And so,
excuse me, is our whole staff tuning into this?
So I just really want the world to know, because not everyone possesses this gift. And it is a gift that I have been privileged to watch Kevin work for the last 6.5 years. And we're truly grateful for the leadership that you provide to our staff. So if there are no more questions, which I'm getting nods and no's, we hope that you take advantage of the websites. We hope that you call if you have questions. We hope that the Attorney General's office approves this merger expeditiously, so that our staff can move on, work at doing what they love to do, which is be out there in the community helping you, so that you're well. And please, everyone, take care of yourselves, wear masks, wash your hands, be safe. And if I may, on behalf of Nana and Ileana, Kevin and LRVNA, thank you everyone so much for tuning in today. Be safe. Thank you and bye.